Leaving the city of Elenia, Nightingale pulled her hood a little lower. Her attempt at anonymity was somewhat spoiled by her horns, which poked from holes in the top of the hood. Her family wasn't the only one that had been granted horns by the advancement, but they were some of the most publicly known in Elenia. The sooner they were out of the city, the happier she would be. Rook, too, was concealed in a traveling cloak, so much as someone his size even could be hidden. "There's Remy and Zeke, just off the road there," he said. Nightingale followed his gesture out the city gates and into the thick forest just outside the city. Zeke was harder to spot, but Remy hadn't even bothered to hide. The white feathers under her wings almost glowed in the rising moon, making her impossible to miss. "You think the guards will give us trouble?" She kept her voice at a harsh whisper. "Only if they notice you. Most probably served at least a little time in the castle, so they could recognize you. Just keep your head down and I'll do the talking." "Right." Nightingale followed behind Rook, putting him between herself and the guards as best she could. While it was possible that Yol might forget about her completely and wouldn't even notice she was gone, Nightingale figured that it was just as likely that her parasite would spontaneously get bored of her and leave Madara behind. She wouldn't bank on either one. The city gates were open tonight, as they always were when the city was at peace. Even so, there was very little traffic on the road just now. The constant stream of trade carts and carriages ended when the sun went down. As most sensible traders knew the perils of night travel, a pair of armed soldiers emerged from the guardhouse as they approached. Their armor clinked beneath city colors. Both had heavy crossbows, though only one actually carried it. "Little late to be leaving the city, isn't it?" Nightingale stood still on Rook's other side, only listening to the female officer. Her voice was suspicious, though heavily laced with boredom. Rook nodded. "Not later than we've traveled before. The forest has no dangers my sister and I can't handle." Nightingale kept her eyes down as Rook recited the lies they had practiced. If Yol wanted to come looking for them, they didn't want to leave an easy trail for him to follow. "Indeed." The officer walked around past Rook, looking Nightingale up and down. Nightingale didn't recognize the officer. She had undergone some striking features during her advancement that wouldn't have easily been forgotten. Mercifully, though, the officer didn't seem to recognize her either. "You're both armed and," she nudged at the heavy packs they wore, "apparently well prepared." She stopped right in front of Nightingale, watching her face as she asked, "There aren't stolen goods in those packs you're wearing, are there?" Nightingale didn't flinch. While she supposed that technically they had borrowed some of their camping supplies from her father's stockpile, she had no doubt he would have happily allowed her to take them if he'd been there to ask. "No, ma'am," Rook answered, his voice level. "Has there been a problem with theft in the city lately?" She stared a moment longer into Nightingale's face, then finally turned away. "No." She sounded almost reluctant. Thanks to the vigilance of the constabulary, she lifted a clipboard that had been hanging from her belt, proffering it towards Rook. "I'm going to need you both to sign this. You'll see there's a place for your destination and when you expect to return." "We understand." Rook took the clipboard, scribbling down their lie. He passed it to her, and Nightingale signed with a fake name. The best part of living in a world without Earth's technology was the fact that there would be no database to search. The guard took her clipboard back, glanced at their responses, then stepped out of the way. "Safe travel," she waved, and the other guard turned to walk away. "Don't get into trouble. The Elenia City Watch doesn't rescue lost tourists." Rook waved respectfully. "We won't, thank you." They hurried through the open gate before the guards decided to change their minds. Zeke and Remy waved at them from beyond the city gates. The two had left before them to make their departure less suspicious. "We were worried they weren't going to let you out," Zeke said as he lit a fresh cigarette. Rook shrugged. "Either they didn't recognize us, or they aren't looking for night yet. I think it's a good thing we didn't wait to leave, even if it does mean we have to walk in the dark." Remy saluted back towards the guardhouse. "See you later, Elenia."